And hey, hi guys, General Splatton here. Today I'm going to be making the base for you for Asphyxious. I've taken his base, cut out the base with a Dremel router bit, and then I just glued plastic card on the bottom of it because it's going to be holding water effects. Now I take some 1/4 inch cork and make the ground or rock formation, trimming it to fit. I'm going to do 2 layers of it. And once this is glued, you'll see me going back and picking the 2 pieces so you don't see a seam between the 2. So it looks like one piece of cork or rock or ground. Makes it look more realistic that way. I'll be gluing it with gel super glue because regular thin super glue just doesn't work as well. The gel will give it some grip and allow it to stick a lot easier. You need the piece of plastic card on the bottom because once we put the water effects in, that's what's going to hold it all in. Make sure that all the edges are glued so none runs out. That will lend depth to the model itself. I'm using an accelerator there to stick it in. And it's okay if it overhangs the base. That gives it just that much more of a quality presentation to me. Now I'm just taking a little pick and going through, like I said, and erasing the seams between the 2 so they match up. Alright, I have it primed. I'm going in with Dirt Brown by Reaper, painting it all up. Now I'm going in with Walnut Brown. I want to make it look like the bed of the swamp is getting deeper, so I darken up that edge. Just wet blend the 2 together to get a good transition, as you see there. Keep working with it until you like the result. Now I'm doing, it looks like I'm dry brushing, but it's really still a wet brush. I just get a lot of the excess off and brushing over the ground. I forget exactly what color I was using here, but just a tan color. It was probably a wood brown from Reaper. You see a little green up there just to add some different color variation. Basically what I'm trying to accomplish is toward the front where the model is going to be on is going to be lighter as a focal point. As you see, I'm adding in some brown tones there. Then I'll bring in the green tone and just kind of stipple it on. Do a stipple wet blend effect. Just trying to add color variation. And you see me lightening up the front portion toward the water's edge. The camera and the lights just make it look gray, but obviously it's brown. Now I'm going in with some, this is the liquid super glue. Now that's dock seed there that I'm going to be putting in. This is like leaves underneath the water at the edge. Taking a toothpick, pressing them down because you want to look like they're matted. There's a heavy layer up against the water's edge. I'm using a pair of tweezers to push it down further. Now I'm just adding some little sticks out of the backyard, twigs. That one will be underneath the water. Adding a dead tree at the water's edge. I'm using the gel super glue for that. Just put a big dollop on. Just hold it until it sets. Gel super glue for the one that's going to be lying on the ground. This is Woodland Scenic's Realistic Water. You'll need 2 little pots of it. I'm using the black and brown there, just a little bit of it. You just want to tint the water. You don't want it to be opaque. You want it transparent, as you see there. Get a pipette. Or you could pour it on. It'd probably have less air bubbles if you poured it on, but I use the pipette. Just put it all over. You want to get it up to the base's top edge because this stuff shrinks like crazy. I had to do 2 or 3 applications, I believe, of this scenic water to get it up to a level that I want. Now there's P3 worm green. You see. This is going to produce the corrupting effect from the spell that Asphyxious is working. And you just take a toothpick and dollop it in there. The first, the brown water is still wet. This is done immediately afterwards. There's no kind of curing time. And just spread it out and make it look like it's flowing out, and you get something like that. It's going to still mix. They're not going to stay separated. But that's when we go back for another time. I'm doing this because I want it to appear as if the spell is going downward. It affects the each depth of the water. So we put the brown back over the top of that, and then we come back in with the worm green again and repeat the process. And then just spread it out so you got a weird funky pattern, like it's got a life of its own. let that dry. You need to let these, you see how it's shaking there, so you have to let these effects dry for at least a day, 24 hours. And you see the effect of it. See that little hole right there where it shrinks. You take the liquid nails, this is 100% pure silicone, and you just spread it around. What I'm trying to create is a bubbling or roiling effect of the water. I didn't remember to capture it, but once I get, this is the worm green again, and then I'll put some necrotite green on top of that. I do a very, very light dry brush of white over the top, to like for bubble tops, and I didn't film that. I apologize. But see, you got some translucency in the water effects so that you can still see the bottom and the leaves underneath. Now this is Army Painter, I think it's a tuft, I think it's a step, blasted step or something. I can't remember the name of it. You just use some liquid super glue and place them around. This is the plant that has fall foliage on it, and I just place it in and stick it down in Mini Nature brand. Now I'm going to go in and put some oregano and make it smell good and taste great, and some basil leaves to simulate different kinds of leaf clutter. Then we come back in with a dock seed and place some of those all around. That log acts like a windbreak, so you want to put a lot right up next to it, and then spread them around on the base as you see fit. Okay, we're almost done here. There'll be some pictures to follow, but that's pretty much it. In the pictures you'll see where I dry brush the white, but it looks like he's done his spell and got the swamp all stirred up. Well, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. This is General Splatton, and I'll talk again. Dismissed.